Why true love doesn't have to last forever. All the best instead of all the time in the world. True love is not a myth. It exists, but it is a shy creature and a rare commodity. There are many stories and theories surrounding it, and yet we only know one thing for sure. We will never fully understand and explore it. If two people stay together for life, it is by no means love. It can only mean quality time with an expiration date. What defines love is its intensity and the impression it leaves on our souls and, of course, our hearts. 3 unforgettable vacation days with a soulmate can be closer to true love than many an entrenched long-term relationship. Here we reveal why this is not a reason to be sad, but actually an advantage. 1. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Love is a substantial part of human life. It appears in many different guises and is not always recognizable as such at first glance. However, it has one thing in common with the world and everything earthly. It is subject to constant change. If we look at our lives, we will have to realize with a heavy heart that many good things slip through our fingers like sand. This realization may be comforting in bad times because they too will be history at some point. In the good times, however, it fills us with sadness. That is the course of life. There is no other. So why should love of all things, the power of heaven, the greatest gift of all, be permanent? It is subject to so many external impulses and influences that the bond of feelings between two people probably plays the least role. It may be sobering, unromantic to the power of 10, and certainly not something we humans like to hear. But love is only ever a temporary gift. Permanent gifts are not intended. Anyone who wants to do something good for themselves and their loved ones appreciates time together and always keeps a watchful eye on the clock of life. 2. Quality instead of quantity. Surprisingly, there can be too much of all good gifts, which leads to weariness. Love, too, would sooner or later become a nuisance and fall victim to the inflation of excess if we had it available in vast quantities forever. Many couples have exactly this experience. They live together at some point, but no longer together. They see each other every day, but they hardly ever look each other in the eye. They talk to each other, but they don't listen. Love fades over time, and then the time has actually come to recognize the signs and act accordingly. From a holistic point of view, it is therefore 1,000 times better to have loved once briefly and fiercely, but authentically and sincerely, than to keep many small flirtations or a long-term relationship going that no longer convey any feelings with depth. If you are struggling with your fate and cannot understand why you had to let a loved one go, try to internalize this practical view of a completely impractical matter. Poor are those people who never got to know love at all. Those who have at least come face to face with it for a brief moment can actually count themselves very, very lucky. 3. What does not last forever is appreciated more. If we manage to swallow this bitter pill and see love for what it is, a temporary gift, we will appreciate it more in the future. Our human nature and our society are programmed to praise the rare beyond measure, and at some point to completely ignore what is constantly in front of our eyes. It's not our fault, it's something we were born with. The hunt for something special is a lifelong task for each and every one of us, even if we may not even realize it. So anyone who falls in love in the near future will see this wonderful development with completely different eyes. He or she knows that the magic can be over at any moment. True love, therefore, doesn't have to last forever to make a lasting impression on us. It is enough to appreciate it when it approaches our lives. If you take this consideration to heart, you may not enjoy love for much longer, but you will experience it all the more colorful and intense. 4. Common growth instead of threat. We tend to ignore one aspect when it comes to love in long-term relationships. What's the point of it if both sides are only trying to drain the water out of each other, prevent each other from developing further, and it's only supposed to serve the inevitable standstill? How many couples spend years and decades together without moving an inch emotionally or mentally? On the other hand, Those who are allowed to meet true love, but only for a short period of time, have all the potential in the world at their disposal. The two halves of this coin can go part of the way together and support each other in becoming the best version of themselves. Love is intense and therefore ideally suited to ignite one or two inspiring sparks within us. It pushes us, challenges us, and yet only wants the best for us. Growth is possible under these conditions. These interactions are ideal and can therefore be short but absolutely worthwhile. Life is not the same as love. Separation does not have to mean failure. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it was. You may know this saying. We would have much more to gain from cherishing the good times than from mourning the fact that they are over. The sad truth is simple. Nothing in this world is meant to last forever. Not us humans, and not the interpersonal relationships that hold us together. When you encounter true love, or perhaps you already are, cherish it and treasure it. This experience is not to be taken for granted, and it is not meant to last forever.